watching FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. We're at Surfaces 2015, and I'm in the Quick Step space with Roger Farabee, who's Senior Vice President of Marketing. Roger, how you doing?
Great. How are you, Kemp?
Good to be with you. So Roger, you're the Senior Vice President of Marketing with Quick Step. Most people know Quick Step is one of the Mohawk brands. It's actually one of the premier laminate brands, and just a year or two ago, you also stepped into the engineered wood business as well with Q Floors.
Actually, last year we introduced our Q Wood brand of engineered wood under Quick Step, yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, do me a favor if you would. One other point I'd like to make is that the Quick Step brand name is one of the brands that supports independent retailers through distribution, and it's probably one of the best known brands in the laminate category, wouldn't you say?
That's true, and that's been our strategy, is to maintain Quick Step as a retail focused brand through specialty retail and sold by independent distribution. It's a great model for us, and we have no plans to change that.
So talk to us a little bit about what you're introducing this year.
So we're showing additions to 3 existing product lines that have all been very successful for us. We're adding 3 new SKUs to our Varesque line, which is a mid-price point product, a 5-inch wide plank, introducing some new looks and colors that are much more furniture inspired. We're seeing a lot more interest by customers in things where they get ideas from furniture, both from a wood, a finish, and a color standpoint, and they'd like to see those same trends carried through into the flooring. So the majority of the introductions you'll see here are really inspired by furniture. So 3 new additions to Varesque, and then once we move up to the premium price point, we've got 4 new additions to our Dominion product, which is our first level 12 millimeter product line, where again we're introducing some more furniture looks. And then last but not least, our Reclame line, which is our premium product that we've been extremely successful with, premium 12 millimeter product, and we're introducing 4 new SKUs in that line as well.
You know, one of the great things about laminate is that, when you talk about furniture grade wood, you can do that imagery with laminate, and there's no way you could do it and make it affordable with the real wood, right?
Absolutely. And we're able to do some things that maybe aren't really even achievable with wood, where we can do things we call more fantasy designs. And we have a couple new SKU additions here that really are inspired more by ceramic than by wood. We're seeing how other product categories are doing interpretations of products and even wood, and changing them, altering them in ways where they're not exactly copies of wood, but they're very interesting designs that are inspired by wood. So we're taking some of the same inspiration and doing similar things.
All right, so why don't you tell us a little bit about your Envique product?
This is a very exciting new product. The name itself is meant to evoke envy, because we think any consumer that puts this in their home is going to get a lot of envious stares from their friends and family when they see it, because it is an extraordinary product. What we've done is spent almost 3 years developing this with our colleagues in Belgium, and the goal was to really create a product unlike any laminate you see today. So in terms of the realism, the depth of the textures, the way the color play works, and the overall effect of the product is quite unlike what anyone would see in a typical laminate product, even to the point of how the product feels. So very, very different from a style and design standpoint, and we're introducing that this summer. And so we're previewing it here at the show. There's 6 initial SKUs we're launching, everything from a very authentic, natural Scandinavian pine to a sandblasted oak, and these have very deep, deep textures, unlike anything you'll see in the market. They use our GenuEdge press bevel technology, so we're not cutting the edges. Actually, the design rolls over the edge, and the realism is so incredible that, for example, in the pine, you'll see the ridges in the natural pine structure roll over the edge, and you feel that on the edge. It's quite extraordinary, and it adds a lot to the effect. But also, when you feel the product, it has a hand to it, which is not a term you would normally use with laminate, that is very matte and feels very much like hardwood, not something you would typically expect to see in laminate products. So we have everything from these, like a Scandinavian pine, to a charred pine, where we've literally taken a blowtorch and charred the finish. We have a concrete look that's taken from concrete forms used to pour concrete. So some very fashion-forward looks, but with a final effect that is really quite extraordinary. And then the other part is we've added extra technology, so this has some of our highest wear durability ratings to go along with a high fashion look. And we're also going to offer an enhanced water moisture warranty with this, where you can actually damp mop this product without any problems, and you can spill on it, and as long as you get that up within 24 hours, it's not going to damage the floor. So we wanted to add some of these features to counter some of the newer products that are boasting waterproof. The reality is that water is really only going to hurt a floor if it's there for an extended period of time. So this product addresses what could be a problem for most homeowners. Once you get to a flood, that's a problem for every product, so we're not worried about that. But we believe this offers enough of an enhanced wear story that will maybe attract a lot more customers that wouldn't have considered laminate in the past.
Now, where's this product made?
In Belgium.
You know, Roger, we were looking at the year-end numbers, Santo Tercivi and I were, just to look at the different categories and how they did in 2014. And, you know, we would have thought that with all of this attention on LVT, that we would see a kind of a dip in the laminate sales, and that's not the case, is it?
Well, you know, it depends on whose numbers you look at. I think we were having a discussion in our NALFA meetings recently about this, and I think the consensus among the members was that it's certainly in terms of dollar sales, at most probably 1% growth this year and maybe slightly less. So somewhere between flat and maybe 1%. So definitely not the same kind of growth you're seeing in categories like LVT or hardwood or even ceramic. And that's largely because, you know, laminate does not participate in new construction anywhere near to the degree that those categories do, and that's driven most of the growth. You know, remodeling has been kind of slow for everybody, and that is still the predominant category for laminate. The only trend that we are seeing, though, you know, is that a lot of the laminate business over the last 5 to 7 years has shifted from specialty retail to home centers and other big box channels. So actually, we think in specialty retail, the category has declined, but has grown in those other channels.
You know, one of the issues with 2014 was that the housing market just really never showed up. How are you feeling about what things are going to do in 2015?
Well, given that we were optimistic about 14 and that didn't really pan out, I would say we're cautiously optimistic about 15. There is still a tremendous amount of pent-up demand in the remodeling part of the market that we think, given current economic conditions, improving consumer confidence, that there's likely to be more of that activity this year. And, you know, we are seeing even numbers I saw today where December housing starts were at a 5-year high, I think. So some of that builder activity that was a little slower than expected in 2014, I think we're likely to see this year. So I would say we are cautiously optimistic.
All right, great, Roger. It's great to be with you. Again, been talking to Roger Farabee, who's Senior Vice President of Marketing at Quick Step, and you've been watching Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.
Now, did you want to do anything on this other line, or would you rather wait till we're